Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where we're working together step by step through each of the ABRSM theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets. You can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. There's a page with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also access information about the books I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to best make use of the time when you're working through the paper on exam day. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it all there. If you can give me a like, that'd be fab, and subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more to come. And so now we're going to carry on with the 2017 practice papers. We're looking at grade 4 paper B. So if you turn with me to page 8, we'll make a start on this paper. So I always recommend that you have a go of this yourself first of all. It doesn't matter if you go wrong. In fact, you will learn better by making those mistakes rather than just copying it through passively with me. So have a go, work in pencil, even in the exam work in pencil. Use a nice sharp pencil because if you're not clear and neat, you may lose marks if they can't tell clearly what you're writing. So pencil, an eraser no doubt will be handy, and also a ruler to hand, and you're ready to go. So I'm hoping you've had a go of this, and so let's look through question 1 together. So all of these questions are going to be relating to this little extract by Mozart. So first of all, we've got some performance directions to look at. Remember, this is could be anything from grade 1, 2, 3 or 4. It accumulates, so there's a lot of revision there. I always recommend that you group them thematically for revision purposes, and then even colour code it, whatever it takes to help. Just because it's multiple choice doesn't make it any easier, I wouldn't suggest. In fact, there are a few red herrings there that could throw you off the scent. So allegro, I think we first came across this in grade 1, and that just means quick. We now need to name the ornament used in bar 1. So here, that's the ornament, and that's an upper mordant, where you just quickly alternate up and then back down to the given note. So it's note up, back to the note, upper mordant. You can also just say mordant, but it's worth just clarifying that it's an upper mordant. Lower mordant, you always say that's the one when the line it's got a little line through the symbol. Okay, let's move on. So we're now rewriting bars 1 and 2. We don't need to worry about the ornament. And we're going to write it an octave lower, and we're going to change from treble to bass. So we need to change the octave and change the clef. We're rewriting bars 1 and 2. So if we keep middle C as an anchor point, then we know we're not going to be in the wrong octave. So here, there's middle C, there's D, and we're an octave above that again. So if we drop down an octave, we can see that we're on the D just above middle C. And so that will be our starting point here. There's middle C, and so we just need the note above, the step above. So I'm going to have to keep just peeping up here. So we're now going to be going next door, and so you peep to the top of the page and I'll just write this. So up a step, back down a step takes us to where we started, back up a step, so we're going to have to keep using ledger lines, so just keep an eye on those ledger lines. And we're going to go up a step again, so now that means we need 3 ledger lines. I'll worry about the stems afterwards. Back down, if we count how far we're going down, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it should take us back to where we start. So let's just use that as a point of checking we've not got wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4 takes us to above the ledger line, and that's correct. and then we're going down a third, and that takes us to the B below middle C. Then we're going to go back up. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 is the line, 3, 4 is the second line. I'm just getting a bit close there, so I'm just going to spread that out a bit. And then down a third takes us to middle C. You can see there. And then down another third takes us to A. Now all of this is very high in the bass clef, and so all of the stems are going to be pointing down. Everything's above the middle line, so that's easy enough. So we've just got to group them as they've done so. And then that's a quaver. That's the job done really. Now I'm just going to go the extra mile and put in the articulation marks. Perhaps don't need to do that, but let's just make sure we do everything we can to get that full 10 points. There we go. Okay, let's press on to the next question. Just a little bit of note reading here. Give the letter name of the lowest note in the melody. So we're in the treble clef, just bear that in mind. So down here we're heading into the lower territory with all these ledger lines. So we've got 2 ledger lines here, but we've got 3 ledger lines here, so that's the lowest. So we just need to work out what that is. So let's count up an octave. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 takes us to F. However, that's not quite the full story, because don't forget we've got a key signature of F sharp, so that's what might catch you out. Don't forget it's F sharp. There we go. Let's turn the page. So to page 9. Oh, however, we'll still need that other page handy to keep referring back to. We're still looking at this little extract here. So now we're asked to give the technical names of the 2 notes marked in bar 6. They're marked X and Y. It says the key is G major. So before we even start, let's just work out the steps of the scale. We won't worry about the sharps because the key signature will do that. So just going up nearly the octave. If you find that difficult, you can just visualise it on the piano keyboard. I would always sketch that out on your scrap paper before you even start a paper. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's just look here. So I've just got this page separate so we can quickly refer to it. So bar 6, the X is an E. And so we can see that E is a 6th, and that would be the submediant. That's your technical name. And then let's look at the next one. So Y, here that's a C, B, A. A is the 2nd, and that's the supertonic, as in above the tonic. Super meaning above. Next question, so this is the last question relating back to that extract. We need to write as a breve an N harmonic equivalent of the last note of the melody, a double whole note or a breve, the last note of the melody. And so the last note of the melody is the A below middle C. So let's look at how that could look. So the A below middle C, we could either call that G double sharp, or we could call it B double flat. Either one of those will do. Just be careful, it's the one below middle C though. So if we're going to do G double sharp, we've got C, B, A, G. We need to make that a breve or a double whole note, and then double sharp. So that's what we'd be looking at. Alternatively, you could look at the B double flat. So C, middle C, B, let's make that the breve, and then double flat. So that would be the enharmonic equivalent of the last note of the melody. That's that one completed. Let's move on to question 2 now. So now we're going to have to do a little bit of work describing these intervals. So we've got to describe these harmonic intervals. So these come together, but the principle remains the same. We just count the steps and then just describe it fully. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a something fifth, so that's half the marks already. Now here we've got a B. So regardless of what the key signature is, you always take the lowest note as your key note. We've gone from B to F sharp. That sharp is active on the F there. So that would be a perfect fifth. There we go. And so this next one, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, a fourth. So that's half the marks. Now our lowest note is a B flat. So a B flat, a perfect fourth would be E flat. However, we've raised that because there's no flat. So there's no flat, it's an E natural. And so we've made it bigger from the flat to the natural because there's no flat there. And so we've augmented it, so that's an augmented fourth. There we go. So let's just count this first. 1, 3, 5, 6. So we've got a something sixth. Our lowest note is a G, and this is an E flat. Now in G major, there are no E flats. It would be an E natural. That is part of the G minor scale. It's a smaller interval. You can see from G to E flat. That's the bigger interval. We've gone smaller from the major to the minor. So that's a minor sixth. There we go. Now the next one, it's a similar principle that we've got to follow, only we've got to now create the intervals. Now a melodic interval, they've very carefully and helpfully told us afterwards, because a melodic interval comes one after the other like a melody. So be careful you don't lose out by positioning it over the top as a harmonic interval. So let's first of all get the seventh. So from space to space, you can either count 1, 2, 3 or go 1, 3, 5, 7. Jumping the spaces. So at the moment this is an A, and we're going to G here. Now A major would have G sharps. It's got a key signature of F, C, G sharps, and so to make it a major seventh we need to add that sharp sign. So now then we need a third. 1, 2, 3. So there's our third. Now we're in B flat here. So B flat to D natural would be major. And so to make that minor, we need to make it a semitone smaller. And that would be a B flat, because B flat major has D naturals, B flat minor has D flats. There we go, that's that question completed. We'll look at the next question in the next video. I do hope that that's helpful to you. If you can give me a like, that would be fab, and subscribe to my channel to keep updated. I hope it's of benefit to you, and I hope that you're enjoying working through this with me. I'm certainly enjoying working through it. Please do go to sharonbale.com and make use of all of the resource that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.